Yeah, here we go. Bottom of the deck energy. 6 of air. All right. You're about to embark on a spiritual journey. You're about to embark on soul expansion, up-leveling. But something is preventing you. I feel like there is hesitation and resistance towards this evolution. All right? But it's meant to happen. So flow with it. Cast fear aside, put fear aside, because fear is only there to keep you small, keep you stuck, keep you tethered. It's time to just be like, all right, look, there's changes going on in my life, and these changes can result in big decisions, which can alter and impact my reality. And I feel like with this six of air, which is synonymous with the 6 of swords in the regular Rider-Waite tarot deck, these changes could possibly result in you moving cities, moving residences, moving states, maybe moving countries for some of you. But there is some hesitation there. There is some resistance there. I feel like with this global pandemic, there's a lot of folks who are out of work for a variety of reasons. It could be that their job is on hold and they're just told to go home and we'll call you when we're allowed to go back to work. Or, hey, given the situation and how, what the economic situation is for that business, we're going to have to furlough you or just let you go for now. We'd love to rehire you in the future, but right now, so forth and so forth. So I do get the sense that your world is topsy-turvy, Sagittarius. I do get the sense that this can result in big changes for you, both economically, physically, and emotionally, but overall spiritually, because how we handle challenge and how we handle obstacles and how we handle these issues, that's spirit, and spirit will guide you through this murky time period. Okay, it's not easy. There's a lot of people out there struggling, stressing about how to pay the bills, how to pay rent, mortgage, food, doctor's bills. Some of you are ill with the virus. There's that on top of the economic factor. There's just a lot going on. So whatever your reality is, it's topsy-turvy. And again, when we come out of all this, your world is not going to look and feel the same. There's no such thing as going back to how things used to be. You can go back maybe about 70, 80% of how it used to be, but there's going to be a certain percentage that's altered and different. Again, it sort of depends on what is changed, and maybe it's more of a difference. Maybe only 10% will be normal, like you used to know it, and 90% will be new, right? So again, just take it how it resonates, but this is about big changes that are coming up. So I think that they're coming and you're delaying, or there's resistance, you're like, oh, I'm not ready for that. But whatever it is, change is going to happen. It's better if you're prepared for it, and it's better if you flow with it and allow it. It'll be easier, all right? So let me just take a moment to check in with the energy of your cards. I'm just going to do that silently. Yeah, it all makes sense. This is exactly what I kind of expected to see. All right, so Sagittarius, central to your reading, you're being represented as the messenger of air. You're waiting on correspondence. You're waiting on information. And you're waiting for a decision, I feel like. Whatever this means, it's going to help you figure out your next step or next set of steps. Crossing you is the 6 of water. All right? And that is the past. That is nostalgia. So I feel like there's just a lot of things coming up right now that you're looking towards the past and you're waiting on new correspondence because Right now, for a lot of us, the past is really our only touchstone that we have, because right now our present moment feels very wonky, feels very unstable and fluid. And many of us aren't really trusting the energy right now of our present situation. There's just too many unknowns, too many variables that haven't been answered or defined yet. And I feel like you're waiting on correspondence, right? So that's going to be coming through for you. I think you're also dialoguing with a lot of people, trying to figure out, unemployment benefits, health insurance. You're trying to apply for jobs. Who's hiring? Not right now, kind of not a whole lot. But, in the meantime, it's like, well, what can you do? And there's a lot of conversations taking place as well with family, friends, loved ones about your health, your well-being, what's going on, people supporting you and vice versa. So with that, there's also a lot of, discussion about the past, maybe reminiscing about childhood, high school, college, what life was like before the pandemic, And I feel like there's just a lot. This is almost like the Capricorn reading. There's like the past is very much in the present. And I feel that's true for like a lot of us right now, that there's a lot of nostalgia, because we are all locked in and we all have a ton of time on our hands. And, the only thing that we have in common is like, well, remember when? Remember when we used to do this? Remember when we used to do that 3 weeks ago and now we can't? So there's that. And then there's also, just a lot of people from the past reaching out because we now have time to do so. There's a lot of sense of community coming forward, with illnesses. Maybe some of our loved ones may be ill. Maybe some of our friends may be ill. So it is bringing that community back together again. And it is bringing people back from the past that you haven't heard from in years, right? So this is a time for us to really connect with our tribe, connect with our people, and really just get in touch with the human element of what this virus is trying to teach us. Because there was so much detachment before the pandemic. We were living our lives as individuals and as singletons. Even though we had family, even though we had children, we were still very much detached from life, from connection, from meaningful connections. We were too busy about work. We were too busy worrying about getting to school on time, doing our job, that presentation. I got to fly to Chicago for whatever, blah, 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 blah. I can't make it to your birthday. Sorry, honey, love you, but we'll celebrate next week. Things like that. That's what normal life used to be like. And I feel like that's what some of these conversations are about. And now it's about how are we going to move past that? Because now you're seeing the importance of connection, of family, of friends, of your loved ones, and what those people mean to you, right? And it's not superficial shit. It's the real thing. You're seeing their value, and vice versa. They're seeing your value to them. And once this is all said and done and we're able to restart the economy and we're able to go back to work and live our lives again, a lot of us are going to be doing it in a different manner. We're going to be more present. We're going to do so more mindfully and with intention. Intention from our hearts. Intention to be better people, better spouses, better lovers, better parents, better friends, better versions of ourselves. And we're going to prioritize ourselves first. And we're going to be able to say no to a lot more bullshit, and once we go back to work, we'd be like, oh God, remember? I really wish I could have had all that time, back. I really wish that I was kind of quarantined again. And I really wish I didn't waste all that time sitting on the couch, doing nothing, eating Cheez-Its. I really wish I would have been more productive with that time off. So I feel like, this is time for you all to really get connected with your tribe, with your people, and start collaborating on some of those passion projects that you really want to work on. We all have nothing but time on our hands. We're 3 weeks into this pandemic in the United States. China was locked down for 8 weeks. So we've got 5 more weeks to go if the US is going to follow the Wuhan model. So you have a little over a month, realistically, you know, and we'll see how long that takes. I mean, that's just a guesstimate. But, you know, this is going to be our sense of normalcy for a while. So it's time to settle in and really just embrace who we are and connect with our loved ones and celebrate life in a new way and really get involved with these hobbies that aren't quite hobbies anymore. These are hobbies that can yield a profit, that can actually be fruitful and productive for you, right? There's a lot of creativity, a lot of creative energy in the air right now. We are in Aries season. That's fire energy. That's like the energy of spark creativity. Go, go, go. It is action oriented. This is a great time to get involved with causes. You know, there's so many, you know, ways to, you know, raise funds, raise awareness, get involved in those projects. You can write newsletters. You can be a blogger or a vlogger. You know, you can work with the art, the web design. There's so many things that you can do from home and still contribute to the greater good. And there's a lot of organizations who need help right now. So I feel like this is you getting connected not only with your friends and family, but getting connected with your higher purpose, with your soul tribe. All right. So in your recent past, 9 of Fire. Yeah. I mean, this is, you know, you releasing, you were burnt out. You wanted to give up. And now you're like, all right, look, you know, yeah, I was burning myself out at work. I was burning myself out pre-pandemic because that was life, you know, living life in the fast lane, going to work, going to meetings, going to parties, going on business trips, go, 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 go. You know, living life in the fast lane is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that song, Life in the Fast Lane. It's like an 80s song, but I'm hearing it for some of you. And I feel like Sagittarius, it's time for you just to breathe and pause because what's on your mind's eye is the 4 of Air, 4 of Swords, slowing down, pausing, reflecting, resting, catching your breath. It's time to be like, all right, look, life literally pumped the brakes on you. It's like, that's it. Screeching halt. No one's going to work. No one's going to bars. No one's going to restaurants. You can't go to the gym. You can't hang out. Groups of 10 or more. Stay the hell home. Okay. So now we're all decompressing from that. We're all decompressing from that type of lifestyle. And, you know, it was our normal. That's how we lived life. And we went through life just almost in a zombie state. We were a slave to the time. We were a slave to our schedule, slave to the man, to the boss, to the work, to the projects. And our family members and our loved ones and our children, you know, and our romantic partners all took back seats. And our relationships failed or were on the verge of failing because of that, because people weren't being prioritized. It was money. It was status. It was success that was being prioritized over feelings, over memories, over important events and occasions. We were living a very plastic, very shallow existence. And now we're being called to pause, reflect, catch our breath, and get grounded and reflect upon what's important to us. Because in your near future is the 4 of Earth reversed. 4 of Earth, 4 of Earth in the regular Rider-Waite shows a man sitting on 4 pentacles and holding a pentacle to his chest. So very miserly energy, very closed off. And now it's time for you to release that, to start opening yourself up to others, open yourself up to truth, to love, to your feelings, opening yourself up to your values, what's important to you. Create a budget, because I feel like a lot of us were overspending on shit that we didn't need, you know, and right now that we're home, we are now seeing that we can do with a lot less in our lives, that there's so many things that we can do without. and we're starting to see savings here and there, you know? So there is also a bit of a gift in seeing the supermarkets cleared out. You know, I feel like the hoarding and the panic shopping is dying down. That's starting to subside. There's some people out there who still do it, and I have no idea why. But for the most part, you know, when you go into the supermarket, we're kind of like, well, I might be able to get that today. We'll see what's on the shelves. So we're going in now with the expectation that we may not get everything that we need, that we want. And it's like, okay, well, if it's not there, I can do without. And we're starting to learn to do without. And that is an important lesson in materialism, because the United States is a very materialistic and plastic culture. Let's face it, right? We are led and influenced by social media influencers, like people on Instagram, celebrities, you know, and it's like, well, wait a minute. They're entertaining, and I appreciate their art and I appreciate what they do, but are they the best person to be taking advice from? Something to consider, right? And a lot of folks who are influencers are promoting a product or a lifestyle, you know, and it costs money. It costs money. And there was a lot of expectation, a lot of social pressure that was put on many of us to live a certain way, to live in a massive house, to have an expensive wardrobe, to drive a big fancy car, to have a shit ton of money in the bank account, to spend money, make it rain, right? No. All that has come to a screeching halt. And it's time for us to get into alignment with what truly matters, and to watch our money, to watch our spending, and to be able to say, you know what, I can do without all that. You know what? I don't need all that. That did not bring me happiness. That brought me stress, and it brought me problems. All right. So we are really getting into alignment with our truth, with what really matters to us. And that is all part of this pandemic. That is the design that the universe had in mind for this pandemic to produce. You know, yes, this pandemic is bringing about a lot of illness, a lot of death, a lot of sadness, a lot of tragedy. But on the flip side, it's bringing together a massive sense of unity, a massive sense of community, and a massive sense of just oneness. And it's really waking us up to our truth, to what matters to us most. And it's not materialistic stuff. Materialism is, the importance of that is starting to decrease, right? Because it's people, it's the connection, it's love that's going to get us out of all this. It really is. You know, it's how we're going to elect our next elected officials, what we're going to demand, how they serve us, what types of legislation that they produce, you know, not only at the state level, national level, but also on the global level. I feel like that's happening all over the world, not just the United States. And it's us coming together as a nation, as a collective, to say, we're no longer going to stand for that mess. Here's our truth. Here's what we want. Here's how we want to evolve and change our society and community. And these are the leaders that we want, because this is the change that we seek. And change starts with us. We have to be the change that we seek in others in order to influence change on a higher level. All right. And I feel like that's being depicted with the Page of Earth. Page of Earth he's also a student, but I feel like we are students in this grand experiment, if you will. I feel like we're students in ourselves, learning about ourselves. Again, you know, learning about the things that we don't need, and, you know, learning about what's really important for us. And with the Page of Earth, this is also the card of manifestation. So I feel like, you know, once we get into alignment with what we want, we're going to manifest great things together, not only as individuals, but as a collective, right? And your environment, 7 of Earth, it's time to take a stance and do things differently. And you're realizing how you used to do things in the past is no longer going to serve you in the future. And you're reevaluating a lot of things. You know, some of you may have lost your jobs, and it's like, all right, what can I do? What else can I do? What direction am I going in? There's a lot of question marks, and you're looking at how you used to do things, and you're asking yourself, will that plan still work in the future? Will that still work after the pandemic? Maybe not. You know, depending on what's going on in your situation, you may be required to go back to school, you know, maybe get another certification, increase your qualifications, or just go in a different direction. So this can be a blessing in disguise, but right now it's a bit chaotic. But it's time for you to really just think about that and think about what new opportunities are coming in for you, because this is very young page energy, you know, page of Earth. So, you know, a pentacle energy, so to speak. So very early, you know, forming stuff. Hopes and fears is 9 of Water reversed. Yeah, this is releasing excess. So, you know, 9 of Water upright is about dreams come true, wish fulfillment, dreams and wish fulfillment. But reversed, it's excess. It's not being satisfied with what you have. You always want more. So this is a time to release all that, because your outcome is a Chariot, and this is the card of pause. It's like, whoa, stop, change direction. Because when the Chariot comes in reverse, that's like, whoa, pull the brakes, do a U-turn, because you're going to go off the cliff, right? So I feel like together, this message is, yeah, you have to release materialistic shit. You have to release the shallow shit. And it's time to just really get into alignment with what really matters to you. What's your truth? What's really going to make you happy, but for real make you happy? And it's not the plastic stuff. It's not. So yeah, there's a lot of soul searching going on right now. There's a lot of digging deep and going within right now.